Okay. We good to go? Everyone good? Guys at the back? Hello. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Some of you have already been here for 2 days for the workshop. Some of you have shown up now for the conference. So I'm going to go over some stuff that we already went over on Thursday. So for those of you who are going to get bored, just try and look enthusiastic. So CakeFest 2013, San Francisco. It's been a long time in the making. A lot of stuff goes behind this. First and foremost, we want you to know, truly know how grateful we are for you guys showing up. You know, a lot of you have made a real effort to come, you know, financially as well to get here. You know, we really respect that. We're really grateful that, you know, you guys come, you support the framework, you support the project. And not only that, but you support us. Because when we do this, you know, it allows us to know that, you know, we're not in this for nothing. You know, we're doing this for you, we're doing it for us, we're doing it for you guys, you know, and this is really happening. So seeing so many people here, seeing you all enthusiastic, the feedback we've had from the workshops has been great. So just so you guys understand that, you know, we know that you guys are here, and, you know, we really respect that and we really thank you. Also, these kind of things aren't possible without the help of sponsors. And this year we've been pretty lucky. We've got a lot of sponsors and some really good people behind us. So this year, Diamond sponsor, as always, CakeDC. CakeDC is the company which was founded by Larry Masters. He's the crazy bald guy at the back. He's the founder of CakePHP, and he basically set up the company, professional development, consultancy services. But more than that, it's a company which supports the framework. So it's a company which is very involved with the community, very involved with the project itself. The organizing of CakeFest, for example, a lot of people from CakeDC, you know, put a lot of effort in to make this happen. Windows, Azure, Microsoft, these guys have been consistent in supporting not only open source, but us as well, CakePHP. There's a lot of, you know, hoo and ha out there about Microsoft being involved with open source, but these guys are serious. You know, these guys are really putting themselves behind it. You know, not only financially, but there's a lot of support coming from their way as well. Also, you know, in PHP, you know, there's been a big move to get PHP on Windows systems. So really, these guys deserve a lot of credit for the effort they're putting in behind it. Also this year, silver sponsors, LoadSys. Professional development, CakePHP development and consultancy services. These guys have also been behind CakeFest and behind the project itself for a long time. These guys deserve a lot of credit, you know, for helping push the framework as far as professional services go. They've been there practically from the beginning. And we've got a bunch of guys from LoadSys here as well. So, you know, be sure to, you know, go up to them, thank them, talk to them, whatever. And ZenServe. They provide development across the board. They've been really helpful this year. They've been getting more and more involved with CakePHP and the project itself, and they've lent their support this year as well. And some more sponsors. So we've got some really good names behind us this year. GitHub. If you don't know what GitHub is, you might be in the wrong conference. And this isn't about cakes. JetBrains. They're the guys behind PHP Storm. Pretty amazing editor if you haven't tried it. And this isn't a sponsor recommendation, this is a real recommendation. It's a really, really good editor, you should check it out. O'Reilly, they've been not only consistent in supporting us, but also open source itself. They've been behind the books. They're now moving into the digital arena. You know, these guys are really, really supporting open source in a really big way. And these guys deserve a lot of credit for helping train people, get the material that they need to become good developers. Newsphere, another company behind a good editor. If you're on a Windows platform, these guys have a really, really powerful editor that's been around for a long time, PHP Ed. We've actually got some free licenses for everyone here. So anyone who's on a Windows platform, come talk to me and I'll give you a license code, and it basically gives you a free license. And, well, a bit of an odd one out, but Blendtec. We've got 2 guys from Blendtec here, so be sure to troll them maximally. These are the guys who do the Will It Blend videos on YouTube. And we've actually got some, well, you know, if they're sponsoring, we've got something cool to give away. And we'll probably be doing some blending later, so be sure to check that out. Food and drinks this year is sponsored by our Vixay web hosting. These guys are an up-and-coming hosting platform, really good service. These guys are specializing in CakePHP and in various other frameworks. And also, same thing, these guys are offering free hosting for everyone here. So just hook me up. All I need is your email, and they'll send you all the details, and you get a free hosting account with CakePHP pre-installed and all configured. And finally, Rackspace. These guys have been awesome to us, like really, really amazing. Since 2010, they've been provisioning our servers, and these are really high-scale servers. I'm going to be talking in a little bit about some stats, so you guys have an idea of, you know, how much traffic we're taking. And these guys basically donate their servers to the project. So these guys have, same thing, being very consistent in supporting CakePHP, making sure that, you know, when we get, you know, 100,000 people visiting the book, you're able to read it. So if you're reading the book, it's thanks to these guys. So just a little background on last year, CakeFest 2012. We held it in Manchester, UK. It was quite successful. We'd actually held 2011 in Manchester, and we got such a good response that we actually returned there. It's also a good location because it's kind of centric, so people from Europe, people from the Americas can, you know, they can congregate in the same place without a severe financial, you know, impediment. We had over 60 attendees across the workshops and the conference. People came in from over 15 countries. And we had 3 great sponsors that year. Fast forwarding to this year, so now, we've basically one-upped ourselves. So we're in awesome location. I mean, San Francisco, it's pretty hard to beat that. This year we've got over 80 attendees, all of you guys, from over 20 countries this year, so we've got more diversity. And we've got, as you just saw, 11 sponsors behind us. So, you know, hopefully this gives you some idea that, you know, this is progression. You know, we're moving forward, this is getting stronger, it's getting better. The location itself, well, you guys are probably, a lot of you are here in the hotel itself, but if you're unfamiliar with the location, we're in this room at the bottom called the Peninsula Room. And just opposite over the aisle is where we'll be having lunch. So I think today is at 12:30 to 1:30, I think it is. So doors will open, and basically across the aisle there'll be a buffet, and just eat as much as you can. There's actually, portions are big, so do eat as much as you can. Restrooms are just out the door and just across the aisle, and there's some restrooms further along if you don't want to share a bathroom with someone else. Oh, before I go on, for the Wi-Fi, for people who have come in today, I don't know if is everyone connected? Is everyone good, or are people still not on? We've got four locations. You'll notice it has the name of the hotel. One is 3, one is 4, one is 5, and one is 7. The username is special, and the password is group. So when you connect, you just need to go to browser, and you need to log in. Also, this year, before we go on, we've got a lot of people from the core this year. So there's myself, 876. I think a lot of them are at the back around the round table. Yeah, it's like the elitist group. So we got 876. We got the Euromark. We got Jippy. Jippy's interesting because he was actually a part of the core. Went away, and now he's back again. He likes us that much. Savan is here. Juan Basso is here from Brazil. Lorenzo is here. And, Larry, yeah, founder. And just a shout out to the people who couldn't make it today from the core, Admad, Fali, C-Ramp, Dominant, Mark Story, Archavik, Renan Saddam, and Shama. So they couldn't be with us, but a lot of them are watching via streaming, so behave. Speakers this year. We've got some really good people with us this year. A lot of them are out there with you. They're going to be, some of them are giving one, some are giving 2 talks, but we've got some really good people with us. Same as well from all over the world. And hopefully we've been able to put together a good range of topics. So you guys are going to go away from here and you're not going to feel like, it's just been same thing rammed down your throat, 2 days straight. Be sure to check them out. If they give a talk on something specific, go up to them, talk to them. I think most of them are friendly. If one isn't, I'll let you know. And schedule for this year, talking about speakers. So today, we're going to have 2 keynotes, myself and Lorenzo. And then we're going to have a keynote from Microsoft. They'll be talking about something interesting we've been doing with them this year. Then we've got a couple of talks going on from Christian Winter, Yusuke, Juan Basso, myself, Alessandro, Anthony, and Stephen. Tomorrow, we try to keep up the pace. We've got Clark Ritchie, Juan Basso, Roland at the front here. Savant's going to be giving a good talk. Joey Trapp from LoadSys, Christian Winter, myself again, and Alessandro Nadalin. We've tried to arrange things this year to keep up the pace as much as possible. So every talk is going to be half an hour. And then we've got 10-minute flash breaks between each talk. So that's not only for the speakers to set up and tear down, no pun intended, but also so you guys can maybe talk about the last talk. If you want to engage with the speaker after his talk, ask some questions. We want to get you guys together. We don't want a distance between who's here and who's there, okay? We've also got activities throughout the 2 days. We're going to have a core panel Q&A where you can basically troll everyone who's on that table at the back. We got lightning talks and Pechakucha. I'll ask that anyone who wants to get involved, if you've got a lightning talk or you want to do Pechakucha, let me know and we'll get you on the list. And end of day Sunday, we got a raffle where we'll be giving some nice stuff away. So I'm specifically on the core. I'm pretty much involved with the community, so you guys. A lot of you probably already know me beforehand, although I do look more attractive in the avatar. I'm going to talk a little bit about the community so you guys can have an idea of the scope of the community, because there are a lot of people who talk to me and they don't understand. CakePHP has been around for a long time. This is a project which started in 2005, and it's a project which started before other major frameworks were around. Things like Symfony and Zend, they started, sort of just really slightly after. So CakePHP is a seriously major framework. We're not talking the talk. So some stats over what we get on the sites over the past year. This is till mid-August, so mid-August to mid-August. We've had over 7.8 million visitors to our sites. So, once again, kudos to Rackspace for, putting us up for that. And over that, we've had over 26 million page views across the book, the API, and the various sites that we've been running. People coming in from over 200 countries, over 6 continents. If we can get that to 7 continents, it would be awesome. And people speaking over 120 languages. Now, I want to focus on the last point. The book is translated, but we don't translate it ourselves. We depend upon you guys. And not only just the book content and the translation, but how good that content is. How good is an example? How good is a description? So if you guys visit the book and you think stuff can be better, we basically have it set up so you guys can contribute. So you can put your 2 cents in. You see something that can be worded differently. I mean, it can be just ridiculous. Dot and I, just enough to make it so that the next person who comes along doesn't trip over that. The more people who get involved with this, the better this is going to be. And this is a reality. If all of you Go away today, take a look at the book, and maybe find one thing. That's 80 patches we can hit in one day. So it's a real big deal that we facilitate that the community can get involved, okay? For that, there's a, same as the main repo for CakePHP, there's a repo for the docs. You just simply check it out, change it up, and then do a pull request, okay? We try to make stuff as simple as possible, but we also rely on a lot of feedback from you guys. So if you say, you know, what the hell, this process is really difficult, tell us, just tell us straight up, we want this to be more easy. I think I have an idea to make this better. Anything you guys can contribute, from an idea to a patch to whatever, everything is valid. And this has truly been a project which has grown up based on the community. So this is growing around you guys. So as much as you can put in, the better. So some more general stats. These are the top countries and top languages spoken from our visitors. So United States has been top country. I think that's probably been a contributing factor to why we're here. And then our biggest communities after that are India, Brazil, and China. China quite possibly based upon population, but India and Brazil are really, really massive communities. So, this is the scope. This is where people are coming from. And this is also, regarding the docs, this is where the language barriers occur. So anyone who, if you speak a second language and you can contribute, maybe you speak Russian, maybe you speak Brazilian Portuguese, anything you can do to help make this better, then that's better for everyone. And then top spoken languages, English, Brazilian Portuguese, Spanish, and then French. I just want to note, because we've got people here from Japan, Japan is actually straight after China. They're basically almost tied. And the Japanese community is really, really big and really, really supportive of the project. This is just the general stats. So ages of people coming in, male and female. Ages, I'd say looking at the crowd, ages and gender, more or less, we're spot on. It would be really great to have more females. If you can, start teaching your girlfriends how to program, that would be cool. Okay, so that's the numbers. Everyone loves numbers. Let's talk about stuff we've actually done. So we've done quite a lot in the last year, and like I said, there's been a lot of focus around community. So we've wanted to strengthen the community and do everything we can to help this grow, help build it out, and help it be self-maintainable. Because it's really hard to move so many people and so much content. So one of the things that we did this year is we set up the CakePHP Community Center. We had a lot of people coming to us, and they didn't know, where do I go for help? Where do I talk to someone about an issue I have? Where do I've written this awesome plugin. Where should I do an expose of my plugin? So we set up the Community Center, and basically this is a hub of where you need to go, depending on what you want to do, okay? And we also have some guidelines of how you can get involved. There's a lot of people out there who have really good will. They really want to get involved with the project, but it just wasn't clear to them how they could do that. So through the Community Center, you can get all the information that you need of how you can get involved with us. It's also the same thing that I mentioned about feedback. If you guys want to get involved, you come here, and it's not clear to you how you can get involved, just totally troll me and say, I want to get involved, but this isn't clear. And I want to see a clearer path, or I want to do X. Can you tell me or explain here how I should do X? Okay. Also, we launched My CakePHP. We've had a lot of sites over the years. We've built out a lot of sites. But it's gotten to the point where the experience wasn't completely unified across those sites. And also, the only profile we've had until today was on the bakery. And the problem with that profile is it was kind of hidden away. It wasn't, it wasn't easily, thrown around, or, you can throw someone a URL and they can more or less know who you are. So we set up My CakePHP as a way to support the community. All of you here are going to have a profile because you bought your ticket. But this is where you can do your own expose. So with your profile URL, you can basically throw it at someone and say, this is who I am. What have you done? Well, this is what I've done. and that will link to your GitHub account, your Twitter account, everything they need to get engaged with you, okay? CakePHP Training, we got a lot of complaints about training. You know, basically, where the hell is training? You know, people wanted to do training. They knew people who wanted to get involved with, you know, official CakePHP training. It had kind of, you know, gone a little to the wayside. So what we did in the past years, we basically grabbed it, we renovated the site, we set up a clearer process to set up training. And actually, Jorge, who sat at the back there with the striped T-shirt, he's been doing the workshops this year. He is also the official CakePHP trainer. So we've been doing a lot of training. Now, I've spoken to some of you about the kind of stuff we've been doing, you know, one-on-one. The reason we're doing stuff like this is really simple. There are a lot of things that we can't do without money. There are a lot of stuff you can do with goodwill. There's a lot of stuff you can do with having really good intentions. But at some point, you need to have funds to do stuff. So through doing training, we also have in the next month CakePHP certification system coming, where people are going to be able to do an online certification system. They'll be able to get certified, and very similar to Zen, they'll be able to basically, you know, throw a URL at someone and say, you know, well, this is my certification. This proves that I'm able to do X with CakePHP. All this stuff brings money into the project. If we have money coming into the project, we can inject it back into the community. So we're hopefully going to be, over the next year, pushing a lot of user groups, pushing a lot of events like this, hopefully on this scale, but it doesn't have to be. You can be small user groups, but supporting you guys. So if you want to do something and you have costs involved, we can help you out with that. We can support you. We can take care of, you know, some of your additional costs. We can maybe send merchandising to you. We can provide you a platform that you can build on. And it's going to facilitate that effort, hopefully getting people more involved. And as I mentioned before, we've had a really important agreement with Microsoft this year, where we actually have CakePHP as part of their Windows Azure platform. This is a big deal. Some people think, you know, Windows Azure, you know, what? But we've had an incredible response to this. I mean, the kind of stats that we've got back from Microsoft of people who are actually installing this on Windows Azure and using it, it's proven that, you know, there are people out there who need this kind of integration. They need to be able to go to someone and say, you know, well, I want to use your platform, but I'm a CakePHP guy. So I want to use a framework that's going to be able to support me to do that. And Microsoft have been really generous, really helpful in getting us set up on their platform. And you can basically just go to Windows Azure. In his keynote, Mark Brown from Microsoft is going to, you know, probably give a demo and talk about it and show you how you can get involved with that. So, you know, this has been the continuous theme. Get involved. You know, this is a project that exists because of you guys. You know, we're here because you're here. If you guys weren't here, this probably wouldn't be here. This wouldn't exist. And Larry would shed a little tear. So everything that we can do to help you guys get involved, everything we can do to facilitate you getting involved, we want to do it. So if you see something in the project where you say, you know, well, I want to do this, how do I do it? Then you need to come to us and say, I want to do that. Because we're basically going to go out of our way to get you guys involved with the project. Over the past months, we've expanded the core. Like I mentioned, Jippy came back on board, Fally came on board. So, you know, we're reinforcing this, and this is really growing. And we've seen this over the past year where we've been investing in the community. We've been making sure that the community has really good visibility and making sure that you guys, you know, when you want to engage with the project, that's possible. The only thing, you know, that we can do realistically is thank you guys. You know, because without you guys, this just isn't happening. You know, we literally would not be here today if you guys hadn't bought the tickets. And, you know, when you buy the tickets, you're not just coming here. You're supporting the project. You're backing the project. You're showing your support. And in showing your support, you know, we're posting these photos on Facebook and Google. Our Facebook group, for example, hit 2,000 members yesterday. We're getting it out there. we're showing the rest of the community, look at these guys. These guys are showing up. These guys are putting down. And they're behind the framework. And hopefully this is going to help encourage people so that next year we don't have 80 attendees, we have 800. And we make this really, really serious and we make it grow. So that's me. I'm going to be passing you over to Jose Lorenzo now. He's going to give a second keynote, which is a little more technical, a little more orientated towards what we've been doing over the past year as far as the framework itself. And welcome to CakeFest.